What's going on, everybody? It's Stas here, and oh boy, did the stock market take a beating today, guys. It finally happened. The S&P 500 down 125 points, down 3.5%. Dow Jones down over 800 points, down 2.8%. And don't even take a look at the NASDAQ, guys. If your eyes want to hurt, look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ down over 5% today, got completely crushed, down 650 points. And in this video, we're going to be talking more about the stock market, breaking down some technicals, going over whether or not this is the start of a further sell-off here in the market, whether or not we could crash further from here, or whether or not this is a little bit of profit taking. I want to go over my thoughts around that, what stocks I might be looking to buy into this weakness, and some moves that I made in the markets today. I want to go over all of these different things. So if you guys find value in the video, as always, I'm sure you will, hit that like button for me. Consider subscribing to the channel. Join our free Discord, link down below, and our free Facebook group, also linked down below. And you can get one free stock from Webull, valued up to $1,600. If you guys want free money, also linked down below. All you have to do is deposit $100 into the account and you get one free stock, and I also get a free stock since it is an affiliate link. So let's get into it, guys. And finally, like I said, we got a sell-off. And if you guys have been following my channel, especially these past couple of days, and by the way, I upload every Monday through Friday going over the markets, I've been screaming for a pull down. I've been saying overbought, overheated. The RSI is off the page on the S&P, the Dow, the NASDAQ. I mean, yesterday, guys, the RSI was at a 90. We were talking about how ridiculous that was. S&P at an all-time high at 3588. NASDAQ at an all-time high at around 12,430. Dow Jones not at an all-time high, but still, it was pretty close, about 400 points off of a high. And all the RSIs, again, were ridiculously overbought. And I was saying, for the S&P here, I was telling you guys, on this 4-hour chart, we see a pretty big level of support right around this 50 SMA. I was saying, watch for a pull down, 3,500, 3,400, mid 3,400s, and I wasn't expecting it to happen in a day. I was not expecting it to happen in a day like you guys saw it today, but I was calling for this pull down, and we got it. And take a look on this 4-hour chart on the S&P 500. Where have we held every time we've pulled down in the past? The answer is this 50 SMA. So as of now, since we're trading above this 50 SMA right now at the close of the market on Thursday, it's September now, guys. September 3rd, we're holding this. So as of now, we're not crashing quite yet. Yes, we sold off immensely today, a lot of selling pressure today, but we're not crashing because we're still holding the uptrend on the 4-hour chart, this 50 SMA at a higher low. And if you guys take a look on some smaller time frames, let's say this hourly chart, you guys see a green candlestick forming into the close on the S&P 500. On this 5-day, 5-minute, you guys can see we saw a bit of a rally into the close. So it's not the bottom. The technicals are not pointing to this being the bottom quite yet, but if tomorrow we gap up, let's say, for example, and we move aggressively off this 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart and do something like this, this could signal that, hey, it was just short-term weakness, some profit taking, some moving around, some profit taking, especially off of the stocks that have been very overheated, like Tesla, maybe even Apple, Zooms, all of those types of stocks, right, that have been pushing this market. We saw some profit taking there. That could be an argument, and it's warranted because all of these stocks, they've run up an immense amount over the past couple of weeks. And what else we saw today was pretty interesting. We saw that the financials were doing pretty decent. They were holding up. JP Morgan down only 0.3% today. Bank of America was actually down about 0.7%. We saw airlines do decent. AAL, American Airlines, up 1% on the day. DAL, we saw was up, let's take a look, about 0.3%. So you're noticing some of these beaten down stocks out there that have not really recovered since this crisis. They held up pretty well today. And one could argue that maybe people are shifting their money from these large growth stocks and taking profits off, and then maybe cycling some into these beaten down stocks stocks maybe for a recovery as we're heading into an economy that is going to start recovering eventually. You know, people are thinking ahead. They're like, hey, we see these tech stocks up a lot. Maybe we should lock in profits and then maybe push our money somewhere else. That is a theory, another theory of what could be happening right now. And when it comes down to the S&P again, take a look at that level, 50 SMA 4-hour chart on the Dow. Take a look at the same spot, 50 SMA 4-hour chart, as well as 28,200. I mean, we held 28,200 today like clockwork. This was an old support from back before the crisis, so it's quite critical, in my opinion, for the bulls to hold this on the Dow Jones. And if they do, they see some sort of V-shape recovery, excuse me, guys, here in the short term, that could signal that it was just a mere profit-taking sell-off, and now we're bouncing back to maybe push to new highs. So take a look there on the Dow, and on the NASDAQ, guys, I'm very happy about this one, especially because out of all the indexes, yeah, S&P was very overbought, but the NASDAQ was the king of them all in terms of being overbought, right? We hit an all-time high, mid-12,000s here, and I was saying in the videos, guys, watch out for a pull down, maybe down to 11,800, 12,000, 11,500, right around here, you know, right around this 50 SMA, and we got it. And again, I didn't think it would happen in one day like it did, but hey, sometimes the market surprises you guys, which goes to show what I've been saying on the channel. Always be prepared for every scenario, right? Have cash on the sidelines ready to go in case we get a day like this. Because again, I wasn't expecting us to sell off like crazy today. I'm sure you weren't either. And if you had cash, I had cash, you could have taken advantage of opportunities, or at least have the decision, the opportunity to take advantage of an opportunity, right? You know, having that cash gives you a peace of mind at the end of the day. So let me know down below in the comments, what are your thoughts on everything going on here? And I actually have some interesting things to talk about regarding some historical metrics here. And before that, I almost forgot, jobless claims. They came in at 881,000 for last week, better than the 950,000 expected by the Dow Jones. So on that side of the spectrum here, jobless claims, they did pretty decent. We were above 1 million, I believe, last week, so now we're under 1 million. So that should have been a good sign for the markets, but either way, the top completely blew off, and that's kind of in line with what happens in September. Historically, guys, take a look at this. Historically, September tends to be a weak month for stocks. In fact, according to LPL Financial, it has been the worst performing. This is crazy. The worst performing for markets on average since 1950. The S&P 500 has dropped about 1% on average that month since 1950, and that's what the LPL data shows. Not data. I don't know why I said it like that, but that's pretty crazy, guys. Historically, I mean, September's a bad month, and so far, history is repeating itself because we started off September pretty hot. We hit an all-time high, whatever, on the NASDAQ and the S&P, but now we're selling off and we're in the red territory for the month. And again, this could be some rotation to other stocks, some, energy, financials, or this could just be some profit taking off the top before we start rallying up even more aggressively, guys. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Again, I don't think it's a crash starting here. We're going to have to see what happens tomorrow and next week. But yeah, it could definitely be the start of one. It could go either way. And let me know your thoughts again down below in the comments, guys. Now let's talk about what I personally did. I love buying into stocks on red days, and I did exactly that. I didn't unleash all of my capital, guys, because that's another thing to avoid, right? On let's say a big red day, a thing to avoid is deploying all your money in at once. Because let's say you have another red day and then you have no capital to play with, you're like, crap, I should have just put in a little bit, right? I should have scaled in a little bit. So I put in a little bit today, but knowing that the markets could drop further, I didn't jump all in, right? So I ended up adding some Workhorse Group today. You guys know I took a nice chunky profit earlier this week at around $19.70, and I told you guys I'm looking to re-enter, and today I did exactly that. I ended up buying in a little bit at $18.40, so I'm down a little bit on that first haul, but on the second haul, I'm up. I ended up buying more at $17.30 on this drop at about 11 a.m. So I ended up averaging down, and I ended up going heavier at the $17.30 price level. So my average cost right now, I believe, is in the higher 17s. It's probably like $17.70, right around there. So I'm pretty excited about that. And this is one that I would add more to if it fell even further next week or maybe even tomorrow. We'll see. So I'm in Workhorse right now. Very excited about this one. I think there's a lot of potential above $20, guys, on this particular stock. And Tesla, you guys know I've been in this one for, I think, 2-3 days at this point, and I got in at 487. So yeah, I'm down a lot on my first little stake there, but this is going to be a swing trade, and I scale into my swing trades, guys. So I ended up buying more into it today at $418. So I'm down on both of those, but I'm going to end up adding more to it. This is one that I plan on holding. I'm not going to panic out of this one. Even if it goes down to 350, I mean, that's the lowest I think it could go to based on this 4-hour chart, right around that 180 SMA. I mean, if it were to go down to there, I'm willing to double up on my position. That's how confident I would be at 350, 375 with Tesla. So either way, I'm looking to add into this on the weakness, and I did exactly that today. And I also nibbled a little bit of NVIDIA, guys. I did today. Actually, literally about a half hour ago, 5 minutes before the market closed, I was like, let me buy a little bit of NVIDIA here because I know if it shoots up tomorrow, or not Monday because the market's closed on Monday, but let's say next week, I know if it shoots up and I didn't buy a little bit, I'd be pretty mad at myself. So I nibbled a little bit here today at $519, literally right before the market closed. And yeah, I'm in this one. I plan on adding more. If we see a play off this 150 SMA, and in terms of that, I mean, let's say if we rally off of it like we have over the past couple of weeks, that's where I'd end up adding more on the confirmation. So I'm in NVIDIA here, and I'm still in Apple, guys. Apple is one that I was up. You guys know this. I was up a good amount on it, but I didn't lock in any profits, and now I'm actually down on Apple. Apple got crushed today, down 8%, down $10.50, and I'm in Apple from $126 roughly. So I wrote it from $126 up to almost $140 like an idiot. I didn't lock in profits. It's my own mistake, guys, honestly. Of course, it's who else's mistake is it? But I didn't lock in profits. And yeah, now I don't really consider this a bag hold or whatever, you guys. I mean, yeah, I am holding it. I'm down a little bit, but I'm confident Apple's going to bounce back, quite honestly, and I didn't want to sell out of it, and if anything, I'd add more to it, but I didn't do it quite yet. We'll see what ends up happening there, and on top of that, I'm still in my gold holdings, GDX, as well as GLD. Nothing really changed there, guys. GDX down about 1%. I'm down a little bit on this position, but I'm not sweating it, and GLD did pretty well today, actually down about 0.8%, as gold, guys, gold held up pretty well itself, down only 0.3%, down about $7 an ounce, as the rest of the stock market, S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, Russell, they got crushed, which goes to show why it's important to have some gold in your portfolio, at least in my opinion, guys. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own due diligence, but I have gold. I love gold, and I think it has a purpose in people's portfolios. So now let's get into some other stocks, but first, let me know down below in the comments, what did you guys do today, and any thoughts on what we just talked about. And I want to go over some companies here that, let's be honest, many companies out there got crushed, but these particular companies here, I'm interested in maybe adding some money in. And the first one is Crowdstrike Holdings, ticker symbol CRWD. TD. And this is one that reported earnings, and let me take a look at my iPad here, guys. They lost $29.9 million or 14 cents a share, and that compared with a loss of $51.9 million or 40 cents a share just a year ago. So they're slimming down that loss year over year. I'm liking that there. And the revenue rose to $199 million from $108 million a year ago. So extraordinary growth, guys, year over year when it comes to revenue. That's almost a double up in revenue. This stock is down from 158 down to about 128, so $30 was shaved off of this stock. And I'm interested in maybe buying up some shares. If you guys don't even know what Crowdstrike is, quite honestly, I need to do a lot more research into it. I'm new to this stock myself, but it actually provides cloud-delivered solutions for next-generation endpoint protection in the United States, Australia, Germany, India, Romania, and the United Kingdom. So right off the bat, it's a global company here. It offers 11 cloud modules on its Falcon platform through a software as a service subscription-based model that covers various security markets such as endpoint security, security and IT operations, and threat intelligence to deliver comprehensive breach protection even against today's most sophisticated attacks. So right off the bat, guys, I think that's interesting stuff. I have to look deeper into it, but now that we're moving to a more digital society, obviously this crisis sped that up. I think a company like CrowdStrike is going to be needed for security and so forth. So I'm liking this one, down about 30 points, again, off its highs. Watch out for it. Another one here is Costco, ticker symbol COST, down about 3% today. Not too bad compared to some other stocks, but still, it's down a good amount. Down about 27, actually, no, my math's wrong there, guys, $17 off its highs. And its earnings report is coming up here on the 24th of September, and one can speculate that Costco did very well over this crisis. I mean, the stock price sure does, reflect that. That's what I was looking for. Reflect that. I mean, the stock price has gone from 308 to 365. So if we have a grand slam earnings again, guys, this could end up going up even higher. I know it's crazy. It could. So I'm watching it here off this 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart. And another one is good old Peloton, ticker symbol PTON. And guys, this is one that, quite honestly, I think could go lower from here. I said in the chat today, which again is linked down below and it's free of charge to get in, I said I wouldn't really touch Peloton until the mid-70s, and you guys can see we closed at 82, and when I said that, I believe Peloton was trading at about 85, so it seems like my wish might come true. I mean, we hit 80, it looks like we might double bottom at 80 here, considering we're down to almost 80 after hours, so I'm thinking if 80 breaks, we're going to go straight to mid-70s, but if 80 holds, it could be a double bottom breakout to the upside, which could be good for the bulls, obviously, right? So we'll see what happens, but again, if I were to just flip a coin and just do a gamble and actually just give my opinion, I would actually just bet on it going to 75, 50 SMA here on the 4-hour, and that would be an awesome entry point. And on top of that, they have earnings here coming out on the 10th of September, which is exactly 1 week from now. So watch out for Peloton. And I have NVIDIA here on my list, guys, but we already went over it. I ended up, again, nibbling at about 519. And NVIDIA is a company that I've been saying a lot on this channel. I've been wanting to buy in, and we got a massive pull down, and I'm looking at it as a potential buy-in right now, which is why I put my money into it. And we also got Docusign. Docusign got slammed, down about 9% today, down $23. I mean, you could argue that it was a bit bubbly here, close to 300. They pricked the little Docusign bubble a bit. It went all the way down to 225, so it lost about $70 overnight pretty much. And that was much needed, in my opinion, very healthy. And you guys can see on a technical basis, as we pulled down, we lost 75, 70 bucks. Like I said, we held the old resistance like clockwork. I mean, we held the resistance from the beginning of August, 230, 225 like clockwork. It's looking good for the bulls here. And we held that 50 SMA as well. So I'm thinking Docusign could go higher. And we're seeing a rally into the close. Did they just report earnings today? I was about to say, I mean, they are reporting earnings soon. I guess they just did today. And the stock is running up here after hours, up to 260. Wow, guys. So this is looking good. Watch out for this momentum heading into tomorrow. Let me see what they reported, if I can just show you guys real quick. Okay, we see, okay, look at this, guys. 17 cents. That beat the 8 cents estimate, so they beat on revenue EPS by a wide margin. Sales came in at $342 million versus $318 million, so they crushed sales. And it seems like their Q3 guidance is looking decent, actually better than expected, so that is good as well. Their Q3 guidance, $358 to about $362 million versus the $335 million estimated, so a wide gap there based on what is estimated, so that's great. And they see the full year 2021 sales at $1.38 billion to about $1.4 billion versus $1.32 billion estimated, so that is why the stock's running. Solid guidance, and I think it's going to be a candidate to be a runner tomorrow as well, unless the overall market takes another big hit. If that happens, guys, if the market takes another big hit tomorrow, that'll probably bring down Docusign with it, but we'll see. And NEO ended up giving us delivery numbers today from August. August deliveries came in at 3965. Pretty much 4,000 deliveries here of the vehicles, up 104% year over year, and they've delivered 21,600 roughly vehicles in 2020. That's up about 110% year over year. So nice growth numbers here for NEO. The stock was down about 6% today, and maybe a play off this 50 SMA is what I'm looking at. I mean, you guys can see last time we tested it back on the 31st of August at about 17. We rallied all the way to 21. So who's to say that we don't test it again at about 17, 18 bucks and rally back up to 21, right? That's kind of what I'm looking at here for NEO. But again, I'm not rushing anything heading into the long weekend, but I would not be shy to pull the trigger either if it were to open up the opportunity, right? So we'll see what happens there. And CCL is another interesting one. Cruise line company here, up 5% today, up 90 cents. They're opening up the Costa Cruises. Costa Cruises, guys, one of CCL's brands, and they're restarting their operations this weekend. I'm not exactly sure where they're restarting operations. I didn't look that deep into it, quite honestly, but the good news is that they're restarting. At least they're starting somewhere, guys. They got to start somewhere, and the stock is loving it. Up 5% today. Earlier in the day, it was up to almost $19 on this news, so it was up over 10%. And I think this could be the start of maybe a surge in CCL, especially if it breaks out of maybe $18, which has been a resistance ever since the end of March. We got rejected there multiple times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. So if 18 breaks, watch out. We might be running back up to that high back in the beginning of June, right around $26 to $27. So those are the main ones that I'm watching. And for those of you guys that stuck till the end, let's go over some bonus ones. DKNG, they got Michael Jordan as an advisor here, a special advisor to the company, as he took an equity stake in the company. And I'm not sure exactly how much of DraftKings he owns, what the stake had to be. I'm not sure if we'll find out. That's probably private information, but he has an equity stake in DraftKings at this point. The stock is down 4% today. It rallied up to about $44 yesterday. You guys can see that. Very good news. That might be on the news of MJ coming on as an advisor. So I'm thinking at this point, from 43 down to where it is now, 38, that opened up about a 15% profit window. I'm thinking we might be running back. The uptrend is holding heading into today, and if we break 40, 39, 40, guys, this is off to the races. So watch out for DKNG and also Ulta. Talk about showing strength on a day that, like today, let's put it that way. We sold off like crazy today overall, but Ulta pulled a green day, up 40%, up 1.6% or 0.16%. And I'm thinking, hey, this could rally up 250, 270 in no time, and it's showing strength, which I love in this type of market. So let me know down below in the comments your thoughts, guys. We're going to wrap up the video here. And overall, be careful in this market. We could fall further. Have cash ready to go. Have it because it's your ammo. It's what you use in the market to put to work. And the lower stock prices that you see, the better. That's better, especially if you're an investor that goes long. If you're shorting, it's a completely different story. But just be prepared, guys. I want to leave you with that. And let me know in the comments your thoughts. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Join our Discord, our Facebook, link down below. And also claim your, I was going to say 2 free stocks. It was 2 free stocks, but now it's 1 free stock. Claim 1 free stock from Webull, valued up to $1,600. Link down below. All you have to do is deposit $100 into the account, and that is when you get the free stock. I also get a free stock, but it does help me out, and it helps support all the free content, and I do appreciate you guys if you do use that link. So I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. As always, be safe out there. That's the most important thing. Peace out.